Let me take a moment and talk about Riverside.fm. It allows you to record studio quality audio and up to 4K video. When you need to record audio and video, Riverside.fm can do it. So if you're looking for a hero platform for all your recording needs, from podcasts to webinars to any video content, Riverside.fm. I've got a promo code for you where you'll receive a 30% discount on the first 3 months of your subscription. I'll give it to you twice. The promo code is SHIPIT. All one word, SHIPIT, and you'll pick up a 30% discount on your first 3 months of your subscription. Riverside.fm.
In this episode of the Football History Headlines on the Best of the Pigskin Dispatch, we discuss the youngest Heisman Trophy winner ever, the longest dropkick for points in the NFL, as well as many more Hall of Fame legendary stories. All this and more coming up in just a moment on your Football History Headlines.
This is the Pigskin Daily History Dispatch, a podcast that covers the anniversaries of American football events throughout history on a day-to-day basis. Your host, Darren Hayes, is podcasting from America's North Shore to bring you the memories of the gridiron, one day at a time. So as we come out of the tunnel of the Sports History Network, let's take the field and go no huddle through the portal of positive gridiron history with pigskindispatch.com.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
Hello, my football friends. This is Darren Hayes of pigskindispatch.com. Welcome once again to the Pigpen, your portal to positive football history, and welcome to the Football History Headlines for December 10th. In this Best of the Pigskin Dispatch episode, we're going to go through those great headlines and those events and people that affected football on December 10th throughout history. So have a great listen. And we'll start off on December 10th, 1922. Pete Henry didn't look like the prototypical gridiron player. He was 5'11" and weighed 240 pounds, according to the Pro Football Hall of Fame's website. His teammates called him Fats, but opponents should never have doubted the threat that he was on a football field. It was on this day, December 10th, as a member of the Canton Bulldogs, that Pete Henry allegedly made the longest-known NFL drop-kicked field goal when he nailed it from 45 yards, as documented on the American Football Database, against the Toledo Maroons in a 19-0 Bulldog victory that gave the undefeated Canton Bulldogs the title of the league's inaugural champions. December 10th, 1938. At the Grey Cup, it was a repeat of the previous season as the Toronto Argonauts walloped the Winnipeg Blue Bombers 30-7 to keep the Canadian title. December 10th, 1939, in West Allis, Wisconsin, the Dairy Bowl was played. The National Football League's championship game in 1939 pitted the Green Bay Packers against the New York Football Giants. The Pack took home their fifth title as they blanked the Giants 27-0, according to Packers History Net. Next, we'll go to 1940 on December 10th. The Chicago Bears used the number one pick in the 1941 NFL Draft to select Tom Harmon from the University of Michigan. Harmon had just won the Heisman Trophy, as well as the Maxwell Award, according to IMDb.com. Harmon turned down George Halas and the Bears, though, as he accepted an offer from the upstart American Football League's New York Americans. After that version of the AFL folded the next season, Tom became a fighter pilot in the U.S. Army Air Corps and fought in World War II for 4 years. In 1946, he returned and played in the NFL for the LA Rams for 3 seasons. December 10th, 1961, in the AFL, the Houston Oilers' great rusher Billy Cannon set a single-game all-purpose yards record of 373 yards against the New York Titans. The Houston Chronicle shares a great video of the event with more details, and you can see a link to that on our pigskindispatch.com website in the article for December 10th. December 10th, 1983, at Shea Stadium, the home of the New York Jets for more than 20 seasons, it had its last NFL game played as the Pittsburgh Steelers defeated the Jets 34-7, according to a great Newsday article with more details, and we have a link to that on our site. December 10th, 1994, the 60th Heisman Trophy Award went to Rashaan Salaam of the University of Colorado, who played the position of running back. The Heisman's official webpage tells us that Rashad was the first player from Colorado to win the award, and he became the third finalist in history of the trophy to surpass the 2,000 yards and rushing mark in a season for Division I. Salam totaled 2,055 yards on the season with 24 scores and a remarkable 7.61 rushing average to lead the Buffs to a fourth-place ranking in the polls that season. December 10th, 2001. Eric Crouch, the option quarterback from Nebraska, won the 67th Heisman Trophy Award. Eric was a dual threat in 2001 season as he rushed for 1,115 yards and 18 scores on the ground while passing for 1,510 yards according to Heisman.com. In addition to the Heisman, Crouch also took home the Davey O'Brien Quarterback Award and the Walter Camp Player of the Year Award. December 10th, 2005, the 71st Heisman Trophy Award was given to USC standout runner Reggie Bush. However, if you look at the Heisman's website, you will not see an entry winner for 2005. That's because Bush later forfeited his trophy due to what ESPN.com describes as him and other Trojan athletes receiving improper benefits that violated NCAA rules. Now let's take a break from our football history headlines for just a moment. Focus in on that subscribe button on the embed player. Click it so you get all the podcasts released right to you as soon as we release them. Also, you can reach us at pigskinddispatch@gmail.com. Right now, I've got a message from one of my friends at the Sports History Network.
Do you wish you knew more about the 100 seasons of the NFL? You're in luck because you found the Football History Dude podcast, where each episode is a journey back in time to learn about the rich history of the NFL. From the founding of the league in an auto showroom, all the way to what it is today, America's favorite sport and a behemoth of an industry. My name is Ernie Chapman. Football is my passion, and I want you to come along with me each week to explore the yesteryear of the gridiron. So hop on board my DeLorean and let's get this baby up to 88 miles per hour.
December 10th, 2012, the 78th Heisman Trophy went to the first freshman to ever win the award when quarterback Johnny Manziel of Texas A&M was chosen to receive the coveted honor in just his redshirt season with the Aggies. It's interesting to note that on Manziel's bio on Heisman.com, it states that he originally committed to play at Oregon out of high school and signing about the same time as the 2014 Heisman winner Marcus Mariota. Johnny decided to go to Texas A&M instead, probably because of the competition with Mariota, but Johnny Football tossed 24 TDs on 3,419 yards passing while using his legs for another 1,181 yards and 19 scores. The game that really set the table for Manziel's Heisman votes was most likely when he led A&M to a 29-24 upset of the top-ranked Alabama Crimson Tide in Tuscaloosa, where he tallied 345 yards of total offense and performed some really dazzling plays. Okay, we just told you a moment ago that Johnny Manziel was the first freshman and only freshman to win the Heisman, but now on December 10th, 2016, we had the youngest player to win a Heisman Trophy, and did it at just the age of 19 in the 82nd edition of the trophy. Lamar Jackson, the uniquely talented option quarterback of the Louisville Cardinals, was given the trophy per Heisman.com. Jameis Winston of Florida State was 5 days older than Jackson when he took home the hardware in 2013. Lamar's 4,928 yards of total offense was second in Heisman history, only to Ty Detmer's 5,022 yards in the 1990 season. Jackson was the first player from Louisville to receive the honor, and he was only the fourth sophomore ever to win it in the trophy's history. All right, we're here at last. The time to celebrate the birthdays of Hall of Famers for this December 10th, and we're going to start off in Tunica, Mississippi. In the year 1916, Ole Miss halfback Linus Parker Hall was born, but he made better well known as Bullet Hall. The NFF's bio states that Hall had an incredible 1938 season where he led the nation in all-purpose yards and scoring while being named by the UPI and AP as an All-America player. His 11 touchdowns and 7 extra points chalked him up for a total of 73 points, and his all-purpose yards season stood at 1,558. Bullet was also the nation's leader in rushing average, kick return average, and had the most interceptions and total accountable touchdowns made with 11 rushing, and he had 11 more where he passed the ball. The National Football Foundation selected Bullet Hall to enter into their College Football Hall of Fame in the year 1991. December 10th, 1933, Decatur, Georgia, Larry Morris, the great Georgia Tech center and linebacker, was born. Larry excelled at more than just two positions on the gridiron, and he not only lettered and captained the Ramblin' Wreck football team, but he also was the captain of the Yellow Jackets baseball team as well as lettering in that sport too. The footballfoundation.org website states that on the gridiron he was all-conference player as well as being an All-America team member in 1953. The National Football Foundation selected Larry Morris to enter into their College Football Hall of Fame in 1992. Larry went on to the NFL ranks after college, and he played for the Rams, the Bears, and Falcons during his 12-year NFL career. We'd like to end the podcast today with a big thank you to all of you, our listeners out there throughout the world, not just the United States, but around the world on most of the continents, listening on a daily basis, and we're proud to be a part of that and humbled that football history is spreading throughout the world, and done so on this podcast and some of the other ones here on the Sports History Network. We'd like to make sure you don't miss tomorrow's show, because tomorrow we're going to talk about a couple of Seminoles that were handed the Heisman Trophy. The final AAFC Championship game was played, and 6 touchdowns are thrown by a quarterback in Chicago. To make sure you get notified the second the next edition of this podcast is released, please put your mouse cursor over that subscribe button on your podcast player and crush it like an offensive tackle hitting a DB. You can also find all of the episodes at your favorite podcast provider, at pigskinddispatch.com or the sportshistorynetwork.com, where you'll also find many other great nostalgic sports stories and interviews and podcasts with an all-star cast of podcast hosts and guests that share some of the history's greatest sporting events. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. We're taking a peek over at the chains and the down marker. It's 4th and long. We're going to have to punt the ball and get on out of here, but we'll have another series tomorrow for your football history headlines, so be sure to tune in. We invite you to check out our website, pigskinddispatch.com, not only to see the daily football history, but to experience positive football with our many articles on the good people of the game, as well as our own football comic strip, Cleat Marks Comics. Pigskinddispatch.com is also on social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and don't forget the Pigskin Dispatch YouTube channel to get all of your positive football news and history. Special thanks to the talents of Mike and Gene Monroe, as well as Jason Neff for letting us use their music during our podcast. PigskinDispatch.com is a proud affiliate of the Sports History Network, the headquarters of sports yesteryear.
Just another ordinary day in the offices of the Pittsburgh Guardian newspaper circa 1924. But for Marla Delft, assistant editor, everything was about to change. For she was about to discover the awesome attractiveness of Row 1 brand retro sports paraphernalia items thanks to Orville Mulligan, sports writer.
And there it is.
Wow, Orville, that's really the bee's knees.
Isn't it just? A poster-sized replica of the actual 1909 World Series program cover.
I can see that. But where did you get it? And where'd you get it framed?
I ordered it from the Row 1 website, where over 6,000 items of sports memorabilia from the 1880s to the 1990s are available for reproduction, in multiple sizes and in several different materials, with over a dozen styles of frame to choose from for prints like this.
Well, I'm sure Mr. Delft would love to put up more of these in the office. But I'm equally as sure they're beyond this newspaper's budget.
Not at all, my dear Marla. See for yourself. Go to sportshistorynetwork.com/row1.
sportshistorynetwork.com/row1. Oh my, these are good prices. Oh, and look at this stuff. Oklahoma-Nebraska football, college basketball art, Michael Jordan items.
And so
retro
it was that
sports
Marla Delft
advertisement
discovered the
flowers.
splendiferous magic of Row 1 sports memorabilia, arts, and prints. You can too by visiting sportshistorynetwork.com/row1. That's ROW1 today for access to the full Row 1 catalog of gallery prints and gifts like t-shirts, long-sleeve shirts, telephone cases, coffee mugs, blankets, pillows, towels, and even shower curtains. Act today for 15% discount off all prints with coupon code SHN15 and 20% off all other items with coupon code SHN20 at checkout. And keep your dial locked to the Sports History Network for the exciting chronicles of the 1920 sports world in Orville Mulligan, sports writer. Coming soon.
Are Are you having a hard time figuring out what to get Dad for Father's Day? You should check out Row 1 Brand's Vintage Pictorum Gallery. They have America's best sports art. With over 7,200 historic sports prints, you're assured to find something unique for Dad this Father's Day. Instead of a boring old tie, get him a historic baseball photo taken by Henry High Sandom at the historic Polo Grounds Stadium in New York City during the 1894 Temple Cup. Or, if he's an NFL buff, check out the 1963 vintage NFL poster. These are so good looking that you'll be amazed how they turn out. Shop now at sportshistorynetwork.com/row1 and save 15% off your order.